What is the name of the website that has become very popular, especially since COVID times? And it got its name from the practice used in the industry when transferring a format to another. What website in the entertainment space am I referring to? The name derives from transferring one format to another for ease of viewing. This audience question will be answered at the end of the episode. And before we get to it, here's the intro.
Welcome to Are You Quizzing Me? I am Vineet Nair with my co-host Aditya Kashyap. This is a quizzing trivia podcast show. Join us as we dive deep into history, science, pop culture, and so much more. Let's get quizzing.
Welcome to episode 116 of Are You Quizzing Me? And yet again, we have another guest episode. HK, our most frequent guest, our savior, stepping in.
Maybe not savior, but scapegoat at this point, I think.
Scapegoat. Let's not reveal trade secrets to everybody.
Or trivia question.
Or trivia questions. So, this is an episode after a while, I believe. And I think you have some great questions for us. So, why not start us off with your first question?
Okay, I noticed one thing that amongst, as a theme, and maybe when Aadhi and I were talking about it just before the episode also, we don't have a good sense of what kind of questions have been asked and Are You Quizzing Me so far. But I definitely think, textiles and fabrics and stuff like that. No. But I have been going down some rabbit holes recently. So here's a question that hopefully you'll be able to answer. Let's see.
Okay.
This word means to bind in several Malayo-Polynesian languages. So, in that region, Southeast Asia region, right? So it refers to a process of resist dyeing. So do you know what resist dyeing is?
No idea.
So what happens is you take the yarns of threads that you're going to weave and you tie something over it, in specific spots, and then you dye.
Right.
When you unbind it, you have the color in certain spots and not in others. So you can kind of imagine doing this in complex ways, and you can create different patterns.
Right.
While the origin of this term may be Southeast Asian,
right,
this technique has kind of evolved independently in several other regions, including India. So kind of it's a two-parter. The first part is, what is this word? In Singapore, also it's popular, but not so much. It's much more popular in Indonesia and Malaysia now. This particular word you will see.
Is this batik?
No. Batik is also a form of resist dyeing, but it's a different thing. But there it's not the fabric. So in batik, what they do is they put wax, I think, or something, and then you kind of create a negative imprint. This is happening on the thread itself, not on the finished fabric, on the finished weave.
Got it.
But think words like batik. So there's another, batik is one, then there's another word which also kind of it's similar sounding to batik.
Oh. Sounds similar, like similar letters or rhyming or something like that?
I'll tell you, it's a 4-letter word. Batik has all the letters in this word also. So I don't know how else to say similar sounding.
Got it. They're just going to be doing permutations over here. 4 letters out of the 5 letters of batik.
Yeah.
None of them seem to be very familiar. Okay, sorry. Can I go back to... So you said the thread is tie-dyed, I guess. That tie-dyeing is not a different thing, but...
Yeah, so this word means to tie, basically. Yeah, so this word means to tie.
Okay.
So how you will hear it is, you won't hear it, of course, in this process, but there are many things that are made using this technique, right? So they're all classified as this fabrics.
Right.
For example, with batik, you will maybe hear this style of pajama is a batik style pajama. And in India also, there are several regions actually that have specialized in this resist dyeing. And I'm going to ask you, the follow-up question is actually about one specific region.
You have found a
niche
that we have not really tapped into. One of the first few questions I remember from maybe our first or second episode had to do with fabrics, but okay. I'm going to say, because you said tie...
Yeah.
Taika? I'm guessing. I'm just guessing it now.
It's ikat. So ikat is the word.
Ikat.
Never heard of the term?
No.
Ikat means to tie. And so you hear ikat style.
Got it.
One famous thing is called Pochampalli ikat in India, for example. Just go look it up. Very beautiful fabrics that, have this particular, so there's a very distinctive sort of pattern that comes with ikat.
Right.
The question I'm going to ask you. So this is another GI recognized woven art style from Gujarat. And this employs not a single but a double ikat. This is a term they use. They call it warp and the weft.
Okay.
It's like the coordinate axis of the weaves, right?
Sure.
One side is called warp, the other side is called weft. So in this, you resist dye both. So then you kind of create like this very intricate patterns by, doing this. So this technique uses this double ikat. It's one of the probably the most like kind of expensive handloom fabrics you can probably find, at least the handmade ones, because it just takes a crazy amount of time to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, it's known for saris. So like imagine a sari's size, and you have to kind of trace out the 2D. It's like a 2D graph. Like that's how they start. Apparently, they start with like grid paper kind of things that you see, and then like someone like meticulously colors like or draws the pattern on these, and then someone follows that, and for all the threads they will tie it in that appropriate places. Then they'll have to dye it in like not one but like multiple colors. So imagine like the complexity. You should go look at some of these patterns and then imagine how much effort went into making this. In this particular technique. So do you know this GI tag style of weaving from Gujarat?
No, you are asking the absolute wrong person. No idea, no knowledge in this sphere whatsoever. But Gujarat, is it a city name then, I guess? Because GI tagged, is it a city name we're looking for?
Just two words in this basically. So one is place name. I don't know whether it's a city now.
Got it.
The other one is basically, again, means like, silk work effectively in like, one language.
Got it.
It's an alliterative name. It's a kind of very nice sounding name also, one might say. And it's one of the most expensive handloom fabrics. It's associated with royalty. Like, it's one of those things like, if you have this, you will pass it down like as your, inheritance sometimes, because that's how expensive some of these can be.
Okay. So you said not necessarily a city, which makes you think it isn't like a Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat, Gandhinagar type of thing.
Yeah.
Something smaller. And alliterative, royalty, nice sounding, and the second word, which was to do with dyeing, I believe, was it?
Silk work, because it's typically made in silk. So I think, silk work. I think that's what it means.
Silk work, that is a Gujarati word?
Yeah, it is a Gujarati word. Yeah.
My Gujarati is not that good. Okay. Yeah. Because you said Pochampalli, I'm thinking... I don't know why Amrapalli is coming to mind, but that's not Gujarat at all.
Palli means it's like, it's Andhra Pradesh most likely, right?
Correct.
Some place in Tamil Nadu also have that name.
We have a mutual friend who has the middle name Palli.
Yeah.
She told me this, her middle name, and she's Odia, stands for village or town, I believe.
See, so that's probably the suffix, right? It's like, so Pochampalli is like Pocham village probably, right? So it's like, it's the same.
Right, yeah.
Digressions aside, like.
What is a Gujarati word that I'm missing?
Yeah.
Wow, no, dude, this is not something I know at all. Give me a hint or something, maybe.
Again, one of those things you probably know it or you don't know it.
Okay, before you give me the full name, give me one of the words. I'll see if I know the second one, maybe.
Okay, I'll give you not the place name, maybe the place name you can find. It's Patola. Patola sari. So something Patola. Have you ever heard? That rings a bell or no?
It was a proper Patola, but that's a song.
It's another word that starts with P only.
Oh yeah, I lived in Gujarat for a few years, so I'm embarrassed. I don't even know this.
Talk to your mom and ask her. Like, I'm sure she'll be able to tell you a lot more about this than I will.
More than my mom, my sister probably knows because she studied design in Ahmedabad.
Send this clip to her.
How I'm letting her down. Pathankot. No, that's not.
Patan Patola. So it's not Pathankot, but it's Patan.
Patan. I have heard of this.
See, you have heard of this.
So there, they do this very fancy dyeing with the threads and
double ikat. Yeah, you should see like some videos on how they make it. It's crazy. So basically they take individual yarns, right? So if you imagine how a sari is made, it's like these two kind of cross sections knitted together, right? Imagine that. So you take it's like every row literally of the sari. You can imagine it as like an individual groups of threads. You have to bind and tie. And then like do this for the detail that is there in it. And then you can just see like, how it's made now.
I love that. Okay, great. That is, you know what, HK? A very unexpected question. It did not have anything to do with the Ottomans or the European
Those are coming later.
For Delhi street names. This is not a space I was ready to go into, but I'm glad you took me there. You know what? This is a good reminder of how many things there are still to explore in terms of trivia.
Yeah.
Though the first episode of the second episode question I was recalling earlier had to do with, and I think I've asked this in a quiz back in college, so you might have seen it then as well. A visual question back when I asked it in college, and it was the map of the world, and different points in the world were marked out, and you're supposed to say what connects all of these. And the answer was that all of these are places after which some sort of either a clothing item or textile is named.
Yeah.
Mosul is in Iraq, so muslin comes from there.
Yeah.
Kashmir is Kashmir. Kashmir is Kashmir.
Yeah.
And I think the one that Vineet caught on to, because I said a few other names which he was probably not too sure of. When I said Calicut.
Calico is a Calicut, right? Yeah.
Dongri, after which Dungris are named.
Yeah.
Bermudas are named after the country.
Yeah.
Denim is named after a place in France, Nimes.
Right.
Jerseys are named after Jersey in the UK.
Yeah.
Jeans is named after Genoa in Italy. So yeah.
I think I'd asked very early about broadcasting and how farming has a lot of words in English language come from farming. Similarly, a lot of idioms and stuff come from weaving also, because again, it's one of those activities that has been there for a very long time and kind of seeped into so many things, like the warp and the weft, for example, I think is used as idiom, it means entirety.
Got it.
So maybe sometimes etymology you can go down for, terms that come from weaving.
Endless rabbit hole there. But okay, coming back to our questions. And since you took us to Southeast Asia, which regular listeners know, both you and I have lived in for a while. Another thing that we have shared that perhaps neither of us shares anymore, just like Southeast Asia. And that has to do with the computer sciences, the technology space, which you have still something to do. The only technology I do is record this podcast. So tell me the name of this particular technique in software engineering where a programmer explains their code step by step in natural language, either aloud or in writing, to reveal mistakes and misunderstandings while explaining it to Dash.
Okay.
Dash debugging is the debugging technique in software engineering where a programmer basically explains the code in as simplistic and natural language as possible to Dash or to X, after which the debugging technique is named. What is this debugging technique?
I mean, the immediate thing I was thinking was something like pseudocode and whatnot, but that doesn't seem to make sense. So, and there's the more recent developments you can say is it's like you're talking to ChatGPT or one thing. So maybe if you're looking at it too recently, then is it like LLM decoding or debugging? But there you probably don't even need to explain it in plain text. I don't think it's either of those. So maybe it's maybe you're talking to a mirror, you're explaining it to yourself, or is it some subconscious thing that you're trying to do?
Well, you're warm in the sense that it isn't another person that you're talking to, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it's like bouncing ideas off the wall, right? Is it something like that?
Because you're not talking to anybody else, it is at the end of the day speaking to a wall. But I'm talking about a very specific X over here that you're explaining the code to.
Right.
What is X?
Clippy?
Ah, very nice. Okay, so Clippy is a great guess. Think of something ridiculous would be my advice. And I'll give you a hint for this. On 1st April 2018, April Fool's Day, Stack Exchange, a pretty popular website for exchanging tech ideas, I guess.
Yeah.
They had an April Fool's joke called Dash Overflow.
Right.
And let me clarify, sorry, because the dashes might be confusing. When I said the X debugging style, this dash is Y. Okay. So X is the debugging style where you explain it to X. Here they called it Y overflow. But Y and X are related. Y is basically as close to synonymous as it gets to X. Okay. So you associate Y with X very, very linearly.
You know what? I might have actually seen this go live on April 1st, 2018 because I was still a programmer back then. So and we used to discuss these things in our startup a lot.
Probably.
Something overflow. Interesting.
And if you know what that overflow always refers to, the common phrase, Y rhymes with the word that is commonly used.
Stack Overflow, right? That's what we see.
Stack Overflow, correct. Stack Overflow, yeah. Right, that's the name of the website, also stackoverflow.com.
Right.
So this Y rhymes with stack.
Is it like something like needle in a haystack? Is that what we're looking for? Something like that?
Needle in a haystack overflow. I love that. No, but it's not that.
Oh, is it Jack and Jill kind of thing? Is it? Is it like Jack overflow and Jill or something? But no, but
You are on the right track. You're thinking of rhyming.
is it a proper noun?
It's not a proper noun. I'll tell you, it's not even a fictional human character.
Okay.
It's not even a fictional specific character. It's not a specific character we're looking at.
Right.
So when they had that April Fool's joke, this is what would happen. X avatar appeared in the bottom right corner of the screen, listened to the user problems, and pretended to type solutions only to respond with a simple Y.
Okay.
And that is how X and Y are connected. Basically, Y is the sound that X would make.
It rhymes with stack, and it's like something whimsical. Effectively, that's kind of what we're going for, right?
Basically, yeah.
And it's like kind of like you're talking to yourself, something like that. So
Y is the sound that X makes.
if is it a crack or something?
Think of an animal sound. X is a type of animal.
So what pet would they be talking to that like what that's programmers supposedly have? That's the other thing also, right? Like it's a play at like what you have in the
Yes, it is something that a programmer might be carrying around with themselves, not an actual animal.
Can you give me like what timeline? Like what? It's a pop culture reference, something in the sense like it's like something is it something that programmers carry even now, or it's like one of those things that's like was popular at like in a particular milieu? Or...
No. I don't think every programmer, or you definitely have met a programmer who carries it. People in an office setting might have it near them, maybe. It's kind of like a stress ball, but in animal shape.
What would they have that is animal shaped and that makes a sound? Okay.
I'll give you one more hint. The reason in 2018 they probably used this was because in 2017, this X had become a popular protest symbol in a lot of places across the world.
Squeegee duck, is it?
So what's the sound?
Quack. Duck. Okay. Wow. Okay. So it's called duck debugging, is it?
So it's called rubber duck debugging.
Rubber duck. Rubber. Okay.
But I remember this was in one of our recommended books. I don't think I ever read it, but it's called The Pragmatic Programmer, and it's a popular book in college courses for software engineering.
Right.
Where apparently there was a story of a programmer who used to carry a rubber duck around and explained their code to the duck every time, line by line, whenever they felt like they were not able to debug it. So they would hold the duck up to the screen and explain it to them and be like, oh, this is what this line does, this is what this line does, until they found what the problem was. Called rubber duck debugging. And when they used it in Stack Exchange for an April Fool's joke, they called it a quack overflow. And the rubber duck avatar would appear, and then you would tell it your problems and it would try to solve, like it show you the typing thing. But in the end, it'll just make a quack sound. Rubber duck was a popular protest symbol. I don't know if you remember. A few years ago, it was being used. It was used in Belgrade. It was used in Brazil, in Moscow. So it was quite a few places in 2017. It was being used in Bangkok in 2020. I remember this in 2013. China's Great Firewall, they blocked searches for big yellow duck because Chinese activists, and I love Chinese activists for doing this, were photoshopping the rubber duck onto the tank man photo of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Right.
In China, it was blocked for a while. You couldn't even search for big yellow duck on their internet anymore.
So it's like how probably Winnie the Pooh is also like, similarly sort of.
Another very famous example, yeah. Because of the resemblance to Xi Jinping. So yeah, that's rubber duck debugging. And if you ever decide to go back to tech, you have something to help you.
Yeah, maybe to encourage you to go back to tech, it's another tech adjacent question, so it just happened that way.
I'm glad. Please hit me with it.
So there's a two-parter again. So, and it's another interesting sort of one connect to the other sort of thingy. So this is a device that when fitted onto a loom, right, like a weaving loom, simplifies the process of manufacturing textiles with complex pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It revolutionized weaving as well to something because it made complex patterns a lot easier to do, and also is said to have inspired Charles Babbage's analytical engine.
Okay.
So you fit it onto a loom and it kind of makes the patterns easier. So what kind of device are we talking about?
Okay. So it has to do with the world of weaving, but also inspired Charles Babbage's first computer, is it?
Analytical engine.
First analytical engine. Yeah.
Like if you think about it, this is programming. Like what you do when you do this device is, in a way, it's like a rudimentary sort of like, giving instructions and making the loom sort of repeat the instruction. That's kind of what you're doing.
Oh, okay. Right. In the most fundamental sense of what programming is. Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
And this is a word that I would know from the world of technology, or would I know it otherwise?
Actually, it's an inventor's name. So that's like what you know it by, the process basically. It's like this person's process. Kind of like, transform many things, including computing. And it also transformed weaving. It's like 18th century, like, late 18th, early 19th century sort of. What one name comes to mind when you talk about weaving in that time?
I think you're overestimating my knowledge of history of 19th century weavers and the innovators in weaving. I'm not too sure if I know too many names.
You hear it as something loom, but that it's technically sort of inaccurate.
The only word that I can think of before loom is power loom. But I don't think that's named after a person. I think that's just power.
A French person whose name is like, associated with loom.
No, French person, something loom, and something to do with the tech world. No, give me another hint maybe.
Basically, it's like it's the earliest sort of punch card system effectively. So what you do is you punch the patterns onto like, cards, and then you attach them to the loom, and then like when you're weaving, you like the cards kind of I think appear on particular places and whatnot, and they kind of let you help guide the loom in like particular ways.
Got it.
And you know how punch cards became like the early IBM started off as punch cards and whatnot. So it's like one of the earliest sort of applications of punch cards in that sense.
French sounding name, so I always go with...
So what's like the most stereotypical French name you can think of?
Pierre.
Not Pierre, but like the other, like maybe English name and like the French equivalent of that, maybe. Like, like what's this most stereotypical English name?
Timothée Chalamet.
No.
Ooh, I feel like I've heard this in this context. I don't know if I'm completely off the mark though. Is it Jacquard? Jacquard? I don't know how it's pronounced.
Yes, it is Jacquard's loom or Jacquard's card.
And he had some modifier to basically control how the loom operated. And that's how Charles Babbage also was inspired. Yes, okay. Vaguely remember it from some computing class.
see, it's computing history.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Joseph Marie Jacquard in 1804. Now, to link this to closer to home, basically, like, another GI tagged product typically uses the Jacquard loom to produce these silk saris, and this tradition dates back to at least 14th or 15th century. Okay. They are particularly well known for their gold and silver zari work. So you know what zari is, right? I think zari is like the thread. Yeah. So gold and silver zari work. So which GI tag product?
Okay, I don't know about the loom part of it so much, obviously, but I'm gonna take a guess because of the gold zari work. Is it Kanjivaram?
So if you think of silk saris in India, like, the top, Kanjivaram is one. This is not Kanjivaram. So what's the next sort of place that comes to mind?
The other one I can think of the top of my head is Banarsi. Is it Banarsi sari?
So it is Banarasi sari.
Ah, okay.
So Banarasi saris are typically done with jacquard because you see that kind of maybe those distinctive patterns, right? Like those repeated motifs, like those are a lot easier to do with like a jacquard device, I think.
Interesting.
These products especially, like, we take a lot of it for granted, I guess, like, saris and whatnot. It's just so fascinating to think about, like, once you start thinking about how they're made, it's crazy.
This is going to be a visually rich episode. I'm going to have all of these displayed for anybody watching it. In case you aren't, this is an incentive to go check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, you brought us close to home, so I'm going to continue right from there. And you have to tell me, what competition was it that there were 5 finalists in, and these were Nondita Korea Mehrotra, that's one person, Hitesh Padmashali, second person, the third one is Shibin KK, the fourth person is Shahrukh J. Irani, and the fifth person is D. Udaya Kumar.
What competition that these 5 people were the finalists?
What Indian level competition were these the 5 finalists for?
is there always 5 every year kind of thingy? Like, are they competing against each other, or is it one of those things where they're all independently done something and like, they're being recognized for?
This was the first and the only time that this has happened in India.
Can it happen again? Or is it like one of those, like, it'll never happen again?
I don't see it happening anytime in the foreseeable future, but hey, who knows?
Uday Kumar, and then this is it's a pretty bunch of diverse names. There's not clearly one region. It's like kind of like, pan. So I'm thinking, is it something to do with like, some award that they're nominated for or something like that?
No, not an award that they were nominated for. It was an open competition to anybody and everybody, I guess, from India. I don't know if they restricted it to only Indians. But, well, given the finalists, I imagine it was Indian-centric. And it was a competition being held in India.
Something like, maybe a very facetious answer, like, who's listened to the most episodes of Man Ki Baat or something like that? Or
who's listened to the most episodes of Are You Quizzing Me? That would be my father. No. My father is not one of the finalists.
Government related, that's the other thing I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So this is like, AIR 1 for civil service exams, something like that.
But that would not be a once only thing, right?
That's true. Like, but 5 people perhaps like is a little unusual, I would say. But like, or within line for something, or like for some position or something like that.
I think right now it's way too open-ended for you to make a very good educated guess. So I'll help you out. First, I'll give you the timeline. The finalist was decided on 15th July 2010.
Okay.
And that was D. Udaya Kumar. D. Udaya Kumar was associate professor at IIT Guwahati. Maybe he has been promoted now, maybe he's moved, I'm not sure. But back in 2010, Udaya Kumar was an associate professor at IIT Guwahati.
Oh, is this the rupee thing? Is this like the design of the rupee? Because I vaguely remember.
Very impressive. I thought you'd need at least 2 more hints, but that was very quick. Well done. Yes, this is the rupee symbol. These were the 5 finalists for the rupee design. I think the deserved design won the award, but the other finalists were also pretty great. Surprisingly, I think Hitesh Padmashali, their design is also quite similar. All of the designs are actually vaguely similar. So I think you can tell where the judges were sort of inclined towards. D. Udaya Kumar's design is simple. It's beautiful. It is. It captures somehow both the English R and the Hindi or Devanagari R.
Right.
Has the line across the R, which is emblematic of a lot of currencies, with the line either vertically through it or horizontally through it. So yeah, I think he managed to do something very impressive with the design.
Previous one was the Hindi letter, right? It was R, U. That's what it was, I think, I presume. Or was there never an official symbol?
I don't think there was an official symbol. It was always RS or RE for rupees and RE for rupee.
Right, yes.
This was only made official in 2010. Like I mentioned, 15 July 2010 was when they decided on the winner. And it has an ISO symbol now, so you can use it in any technological communication as well. So that's where the rupee symbol comes from an open competition, and which was won by an associate professor in IIT Guwahati, D. Udaya Kumar. And what a legacy to have left. Very impressive.
That's true. Yeah. Crazy. Yes. Again, like one of those 99% invisible things, right? Like, that you don't pay attention to, and then there's a story behind all of them. Yeah. I think we've recommended that enough times in this podcast.
Can't recommend it enough.
So, moving away from India, because, I think we spent a lot of time there. Let's go to somewhere like a little very different. So, this person was a Swedish astronomer, physicist and mathematician who founded the Uppsala Astronomical Observatory in 1741.
Okay.
What he's most known for today, he proposed in a paper to the Royal Society of Sciences in Uppsala in 1742.
Mm-hmm.
So it became what we think of now, thanks to Carl Linnaeus, who, if you know, is the one who kind of, who did a lot of the work on taxonomy, species, and I think it's the same Linnaeus, if I'm not mistaken, who a year after this person's death, in 1745, so kind of relatively soon, he just proposed a simple correction.
Mm-hmm.
What this person had proposed was, did not lend itself to practical measurement. So Carl Linnaeus suggested that why don't we do this one thing? And then like that's kind of what we do now. So who and what am I talking about?
So Uppsala was founded by this person.
Uppsala Astronomical Observatory was founded by this person.
Oh, okay. Got it. So that's an astronomical observatory this person founded. So does their work have to do with astronomy?
So I said he's an astronomer, physicist, and mathematician. And the change was proposed by Carl Linnaeus, who's a botanist, taxonomist. Like, he's not really I don't think he's an astronomer. Maybe a big, polymath.
Okay, so not an astronomy probably. Something to do with maybe the physical sciences, the life sciences. And this is the 18th century, right?
Yeah, early, like 1742. You can say that, this person is kind of won out decisively in kind of most places except one.
Oh, this feels like a SI unit kind of nonsense again. This feels like it's going to be those Americans ruining it for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You're saying this person won out, so it's not one of those quirky, stupid foot, inches, yards, pound nonsense.
No.
An SI unit that is named after a person, there are quite a few.
Yeah, I think most of them, if I'm not mistaken, are probably named after people.
Yeah.
Something that America does notably different from most of us.
So I'm trying to think of fundamental stuff. I'm not trying to go into like pressure and
pressure is pretty fundamental, you can say, but yeah.
I'm talking more. Yeah, I was thinking meter, second, gram, but none of those.
Yes, it is more fundamental than that. So, gram is not named after a person.
Not named after a person. Yeah. Anyway, the SI unit is kilogram, I believe. It's not gram.
I don't want you to think too much of SI unit because technically the SI unit is different, I think, but think along with the fundamental things. Like you said, weight you've done. Like, length you've thought of. Length is also not a person.
Not weight, not time, not length. Fundamental units apart from that.
Yeah.
Oh, temperature. Oh, is it? So Kelvin would be the SI unit, but you're saying it's not SI.
Yeah, so Kelvin is British.
Then I'm assuming it's Celsius.
Yeah, Celsius. Yes, this is Andes Celsius. So he originally proposed it as boiling point 0.
0 and freezing point is 100.
Yeah.
Oh, I've read this piece of trivia or I've come across this piece of trivia somewhere. And this guy, what is his name? This guy, the taxonomist?
Carl Linnaeus. He invented it. Yes. Though I think the other one, Fahrenheit, is I'm not sure which country thinks, I'm not sure it's German or Dutch or something, but some people say that Fahrenheit scale is like better because in some sense it's more realistic in terms of how you observe temperatures, like in the kind of the ranges that we think of, like 100 is warm.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you never will encounter 100 degrees Celsius, that means you're probably dead already at that point or dying or in agony. But and then 0 Fahrenheit is still something that a person would experience.
Right.
There's argument to be made that Fahrenheit is more natural.
Okay.
The reason they kind of calibrated that way also is probably to be close to human temperature, right? Which is 98.6, right? Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a small bonus thing. So I said he was, he founded in 1741. He died in 75. He died relatively young. So what do you think he died from?
Fever? Did he have a fever that he died from? I don't know why I'm laughing at this poor man's death.
No.
I thought because of Celsius and Fahrenheit and he died because of that.
Because it's a throwback to something that we've actually discussed. So what do you think he died from?
He died of something that we have discussed.
Yes.
Oh, didn't we discuss tuberculosis, I think?
Yes, he died of TB as well.
Everything is tuberculosis, the book.
Yes, everything is tuberculosis. So Celsius died from tuberculosis as well. So I thought it was a nice throwback to another. But yeah.
Cool. Since we were talking about something morbid, this person dying of TB, I'm going to ask you, what is and this is a dark question, if you're not in the mood to dampen your spirit, skip ahead, listener. But what is the name given to the horizontal scar at the base of the throat which results from surgery to remove a thyroid cancer caused by a specific reason?
The specific reason I can think of is smoking or something like that, or chewing tobacco or whatnot.
Smart guess, not the answer in this case, not the reason that I'm looking for. So it won't be the most common reason. Very few people would have encountered this, but boy oh boy, from whatever I've read, it is a gruesome way to go.
Okay.
People who have to undergo surgery to remove it from their throat have usually a scar there. What is both the reason I'm asking and what is it called? Perhaps the reason will be the first answer you'll get to, and then you can figure out what it is called.
So the other thing I think of something like, something to do with workplace conditions. So like mining, that's the other thing I think of, like, something to do with inhalation of because it's black lung.
Very, very good guess, and also very close, because it doesn't have to do with the mining specifically, but it does have to do with the occupational hazard.
Okay, occupational hazard. Interesting. Okay. So if it's not mining, then is it just like mill work or something like that? Like, plus flour inhalation. That's the other thing I know is like apparently very bad for you.
Yeah. But think of something way more modern.
Radiation?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give it to you. The reason is a fallout from a nuclear accident.
Right. Okay. So Chernobyl.
So Chernobyl is in the name. What is the full name? Chernobyl dash is the name given to the horizontal scar at the base of the throat.
Oh, Chernobyl dash, is it? Okay. What let we got then? Chernobyl souvenir or something like that. Like they call it like a very morbid way. Like
it is very dark. It puts it into a very different light. That word was probably never used in such a dark context, except for like maybe this instance.
Chernobyl gift.
Close. Think of something more ornamental and specific to the location of this car.
Necklace?
It's a Chernobyl necklace.
Okay. Yeah.
It is one of those things which is you perhaps don't realize it till you understand what it refers to, because it sounds at the outset sounds very nice. And the other one that I always think of is the Chelsea grin.
Oh, that's the Joker thing, right?
It's also called a Cheshire grin. It's also called a Glasgow smile. I don't know what's happening in the British Isles, but something crazy.
Yeah.
It's a wound caused by making a cut from the corners of a victim's mouth up to the ears, leaving a scar in the... I'm sorry, I should have given a big...
content warning.
Yeah, that this is a little graphic.
Yeah.
It's one of those words, right? It's so disturbing when you realize what it means. A Glasgow smile at the outset sounds very cute, and then you realize, oh, that's dark.
Chernobyl necklace.
I will leave our audience with this question, at least with one last one, which is the Colombian necktie.
Oof.
Only Google it if you can stand something gory. Otherwise, don't do it. HK, I know you don't like that stuff. So for you, I'd recommend not Googling it.
Is this what the gangsters used to do or something?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to Google it unless you have a stomach for it. But yes, this goes back to what I was saying about Colombian necktie, Glasgow smile, back to the Chernobyl necklace. A very, very dark thing that has a deceptively pretty name. So that is Chernobyl necklace for you. HK, do you have one last question for us before we wrap up this episode?
Okay, so I know I've kind of gone off base a bit with my question, so now I'm going to bring it back home to my kind of turf. So this is the Delhi question of my set.
Go for it.
This person was kind of popularly known as aadhi, nayi, dilli ka maalik. So this is obviously a term not from recent times, but from the 40s, 50s, when New Delhi was new. He got his start as a contractor. One of his first jobs was to transport the foundation stones of the Viceroy House in New Delhi. So in a way, he laid the foundation stone for New Delhi, in a weird sort of way, right?
Right.
He would go on to build what is regarded as New Delhi's first apartment complex. Because again, New Delhi had a lot of bungalows, which is called, and it's probably the biggest hint, is Sujan Singh Park. It still exists. It's in Kanya Khan Market. So who is this person, if you remember the name? And more importantly, who is his famous son who would go on to live and die in Sujan Singh Park? Probably one of the most famous residents of Sujan Singh Park.
So you said Aadhi, Dilli ka Maalik, and my first instinct was to say Lutyens, because Lutyens Delhi.
But Lutyens didn't own Delhi. So this person actually owned a bunch of land.
And now I gather it's somebody Indian. So it doesn't make sense. And his son is a famous Indian person, I'm guessing, who has lived and died in Delhi.
Very famous.
Famous Delhi person.
Son was a writer, author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist, and politician.
R.K. Lakshman is not from Delhi, right? No, not Delhi.
Yeah, Malgudi days, you're thinking of
that's not Delhi.
Delhi person, that's what I was saying. You know this.
Mention the qualification. Something is at the back of my head.
Author, lawyer, diplomat, politician, journalist.
Diplomat. The only thing I can think of is this. I remember from his memoir. I think you're talking about Sujan Singh.
Yes, this is Khushwant Singh. So the son is Khushwant Singh.
Khushwant Singh's father was this famous?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So he's called Aadhi, nayi, dilli ka maalik. So I guess you probably don't know the name. His name is Sobha Singh.
Sobha Singh.
So one of his earliest contracts was basically to move the Viceroy stones, the foundation stones from Kingsway to Raisina Hill. So in 1912, right? So Viceroy Harding, this is not the thing, when there was an assassination attempt on him. That's also a very famous sort of Delhi story, during again another one of these darbars. So he was there nearby when that assassination attempt happened. And then I think apparently when Bhagat Singh, I think in some Delhi court or something, he detonated a bomb, he was there again at that time because he was a lawyer.
Wow.
He was part of the British elite at that point. Apparently Gandhi used to stay at his house a lot and Jinnah used to walk around. It's one of those things, one of those people that is just...
Sobha Singh is like the Forrest Gump of Indian history, just there at every iconic moment.
More involved than Forrest Gump.
More consequential in a way. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so...
It's very interesting. Wow. I had no idea Khushwant Singh came from such a storied history.
Yeah.
Aadhi Nayi Dilli ka Maalik's son is is some sort of a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Very cool. History lesson and Delhi lesson. I like it. All rolled into one.
Right.
Great notes to end this episode on. And before we do, I have to ask or rather answer the audience question that I asked in the beginning. So, HK, any guesses as to what is the name of the website? And this website is specifically in the entertainment space that has been around for more than a decade, but gained popularity, especially during COVID, as most of us were relying on online entertainment during that phase. And it gets its name from a technique used in transferring from one format to another. I'm being very vague, but hopefully you can figure it out.
I'm thinking it's like the first, but this is very technical. Is it FFmpeg? But that's not a website. It's a tool, I think. YouTube downloader. Right.
I've never used it. I don't know what you're talking about. You criminal. Okay. So to be very specific, this is a website that has to do with films. And it's probably the second or the third most important website when it comes to films after IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
And everybody's been talking about it for the last few years.
There's rips and whatnot.
Go back even further. I'm talking about if I made a film, I wanted to show it on TV, I would have to do this thing.
Okay.
To be able to show that film on TV. And that's where this website gets its name also.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's like that, what do you call it? It's like the tape is digitizing the tape effectively, right? Like the reel.
I'm sure there were things that they had to do in that space. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about formats. When I said format, I meant, you know what, I'm going to break it down even further for you. Aspect ratio. Think aspect ratio.
Right.
The one which is very popular is the wide format, right? Which is extremely widescreen.
16:9 or whatnot.
Yeah. So the ratio is 16:9. You would do something to that widescreen film to be able to show it on TV while maintaining that aspect ratio.
Black bars, right? So yeah. There's like two. So what do you call it?
What is that called that gives its name to the website in the entertainment space, which is something every cinephile knows, every random Twitter film critic knows. Like they talk about it all the time. They are obsessed with it all the time.
Is that where you store your... no, that's Letterboxd. That's different.
Yes, that is it. Letterboxd.
Is it Letterboxd? Oh, it's Letterboxd. Okay. It is Letterboxd. Okay.
So adding those black bars is called letterboxing. How in a letterbox you have a slot that you put your letter through.
Right.
That's what it looks like. So they called it letterboxing because you want to make the widescreen appear as widescreen, but on a TV obviously you need to add something. So they add the black bars on both the bottom and the top. And that gives its name to the website, which is Letterboxd. And do you know what you do? What is it called when, say, you have to add it on the sides?
Ooh.
A square format film.
Right.
What would you do to show it on TV when...
Ribboning or something like that?
Pillar boxing. So, letterbox but you add pillars on the side, so it's called pillar boxing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Pillar boxing, letterboxing, and that's where Letterbox, the website, gets its name. Hey.
Nice. Yeah.
Are you on Letterbox, or do you follow people on Letterbox by any chance?
No, I don't.
I keep up with it. I don't specifically follow it, but once in a while I'll go check. Martin Scorsese's Letterbox account was at one point the most followed account on the website because everybody wanted to know what Martin Scorsese thinks about films. But yeah, that brings us very neatly to our pop culture recommendations. HK, hit us quickly with what you think is good that you've seen recently.
I went and saw this anime movie. It's called the anime is called Demon Slayer. So this is kind of the final arc of the movie, and it's one of those movies that you feel like you have to see it, like those things that even though it's anime, like it's beautifully animated. It's like both, I think, CGI and hand-drawn animations, and on the big screen, great experience. Another movie that I went and watched recently also was surprising. It's called Loka. I know that Vineet has mentioned it already. I'm not sure, but there's this. It's this Malayalam movie. It's a part of a new sort of cinematic universe. Sort of not probably the most well-known stars, at least like the leads, but it's a beautiful sort of, again, like one of those movies that you want to watch. They're well shot and a very intriguing story. It's like supernatural, but set in the Indian context. Malayalam cinema breaking expectations and setting the bar, as they often end up doing.
It is a very impressive film culture in India, for sure, Malayalam films. I have to recommend another film, so I'm going to do a film recommendation again, and that's going to be Humans in the Loop. And this is a Hindi Kurukh language film that is directed by Aranya Sahai, and it follows an Adivasi woman who unexpectedly finds herself interacting with AI. And I'm going to leave it at that. This is from the Wikipedia page. That's what I'm going to leave it, because it I don't know, maybe I thought it would be a little preachy, or maybe it would be a little, because I'm always curious as to how a director handles these topics which are not very often talked about in cinema. And kudos to any director, by the way, trying it out. It's never easy. But this is a film which doesn't come across as either preachy or telling you either about the Adivasi culture in India or talking about AI with a very heavy-handed way. But it still just hits the right spot when it comes to good films. And so you have to check out Humans in the Loop. I believe it's not in theaters anymore. It was there briefly.
Of course, yeah.
As good movies are, they leave cinema very quickly. But yes, Humans in the Loop, if you can catch it online, do that. And that is the end of the pop culture recommendations, which brings us to my very quick and short plea to go check us out on any podcasting platform. If you're already listening to us, you could watch us on a video podcast on YouTube or on Spotify. And we are on Reddit, so r/areyouquizzingme. You can email us at areyouquizzingme@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Instagram, where we are at areyouquizzingme. Always love to hear from you if you have any thoughts, any feedback, any ideas, any suggestions. And always send us trivia. Lovely to see fun trivia coming in from audience members. And we do share it whenever we can. And Vineet, once he's back, will be sharing some of the audience questions that I know he has received in the recent past, because I can see the emails, but I obviously don't open it. So those questions coming soon. And I believe that's it. So recommend this podcast to anybody who likes trivia and who likes to know more about Delhi, about history, about now textiles also, I guess. HK, I'm counting on the next episode having some coffee trivia, okay? I feel like you owe it to us to give us some fun coffee trivia. HK's promised to come back actually with a very fun format, so look forward to that guest episode. Once Vineet is back, we'll do a guest episode with HK where he's going to do a slightly different quizzing format. Looking forward to that. Cool. Thank you so much, HK, for joining us one more time. Any last thoughts?
No.
Love it. There should never be a last thought. There will be more thoughts always. Okay. See you guys next week.
I will be very disappointed if you don't get this very soon. Yeah, so